Hello, everyone, and welcome to lucky episode 13 of Your Broker Admin. I'm your host, Rob Cummings, and I'm excited to say that I have another guest with me in the YBA chat room. So here's a quick summary of what we have in the show for you this week. Firstly, in Humpday Helpers, I'll be sharing an article I found on document collection best practices. Then I catch up with my guest, Vanessa Lewis, Director of Education with the National Lending Group, to share a little bit about her culinary skills and lots about her role and the important part it potentially plays for aspiring brokers. And finally, our regular reviews wrap up with outcomes from loan reviews completed during the week ending the 7th of February 2025. Thanks for joining me, and let's get into it. For this week's Humpday Helper, I actually want to share an article published by the team at Broker Engine on their suggested top 10 document collection best practices. You'll find the article at brokerengine.com.au/mortgage-broker-document-collection, or you can go to the Humpday Helper post number 123 on the NBES LinkedIn page and use the link there. The article format is about identifying the key pain points for collection of documents with their recommended solution. The team at Broker Engine have been doing this a long time, so I don't feel the need to reinvent the wheel here. And whilst it obviously references features in Broker Engine, the principles are still the same, regardless of what system you are using to collect documents. All the best, and hope you find it useful. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our regular guest chat on Your Broker Admin. Here in the YBA chat room with me today is Vanessa Lewis, Director of Education with the National Lending Group. Now, before we get into anything further, just want to give you some quick background on Vanessa. Up until 2003, was actually pursuing a career in banking. Then in 2011, started up her own broking business using the brand Morebanks Proprietary Limited. In 2017, you became an MFAA certified mentor. And then in 2021, you took on the additional role of Director of Education with NLG. So, Vanessa, welcome to Your Broker Admin, and thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's good to talk to somebody outside my room, so my office. Now, before we actually get into any sort of business stuff, there is something I wanted to quickly delve into with you, something more on a personal level. I have it on good authority that you are a self-taught cake decorator.
That's true. That's true.
So tell us, how did that come about? And what's the craziest decoration you've ever been asked to create?
So it's a bit of a story that I think a lot of people will relate to. When my eldest child was about to turn 1, being a new parent, I got very excited about my first child's first birthday. And I went out and bought a Women's Weekly birthday cake book. And in that book, I don't know if you've ever seen one, they've been around a very long time. There's the good old hedgehog and alien and all different sorts of things. So I went a little overboard and I made 2 cakes from the book. And that started my cake decorating journey. And each year from then on, and as we had more kids, they all got to choose their own birthday cake. So I was practicing a lot of different things. And eventually, when the internet was, this is making me sound really old, when the internet came in and YouTube came in, then my eyes were opened and I taught myself basically watching YouTube videos and looking at books. And yeah, and the weirdest or quirkiest, I made a 50th birthday cake for a very good friend of mine, and she loves shoes. So I made a completely edible stiletto that was sitting on top of the cake, all from icing.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And then my brother-in-law, another one, he is into music and he has a guitar. He's got a Fender Stratocaster. So I recreated a Fender Stratocaster, including edible strings.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah,
So a potential career for you after mortgage broking.
potentially. There's a lot of hours that go in and the money that you earn from doing it. It's more of a love job, I think.
Yeah. And unfortunately, no trail on the cake
No,
decorating.
no trail, just crumbs.
I want to move on now to, I guess, the real reason we're here today. And let's talk about your role as a director of education. Um, Now, for me, and I'm sure for most listeners, the obvious question is what does the director of education actually do?
Good question. When I first came into this role, it was a new role to NLG. So really, I got to, yeah, obviously in conjunction with the staff at NLG, write the role. And when I first started, the role was to create a mentoring program for new to industry brokers, to mentor, teach, and coach them in how to do the job and to be successful long term. So the way that I do that is I wrote a bunch of mentoring modules, which I look at from
Hmm.
two perspectives. We want to teach people in a proactive way as well as be reactive, because we saw a need in the industry for brokers to actually get formal training on top of that Cert 4 and diploma, which really doesn't teach you how to do the job. It's a have to
Well, yeah,
have, but you can't actually walk in day one and do the job with just those certificates. So mentoring traditionally or at the beginning was really very reactive. Somebody who had experience would get a mentee and they would have a scenario and the mentor would assist them with the scenario, quite often just telling them which lender to go to. And that was about it. Of course, there are fantastic mentors out there and fantastic programs, but we saw the need to actually make sure that people got the whole shebang, which was teaching them the theory, practical application, as well as being reactive and helping them with their scenarios and anything to do with the business. So I look at it proactive, reactive. Proactive being the formal learning side of things, and reactive being whatever else they need.
yeah,
Sometimes might be just a little bit of hand holding because something hasn't gone right, or it could be helping them with serviceability or anything to do with scenarios, software, business development, sales skills. Yeah, so my day typically looks like training, team sessions, doing scenarios, looking at the software, um, business building sessions where we do a bit of coaching and goal setting and that sort of thing. So it's a very varied day.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I can imagine. Yes, absolutely. Um, so coming into, you mentioned that you sort of created the role or wrote the guide for the role.
Yes.
Were there any myths or misconception that you've either been dispelled or confirmed since starting the role?
Well, I think coming into the role, I came in, my journey started in a banking background. Then I worked for a broker as admin and then went to being a full-fledged broker. So my view is probably a little different to some of the others. So a lot of people hear that broking is about doing deals and it's easy money. They
Mm,
might have used a broker themselves, seen the credit proposal disclosure and thought, oh, wow, you can earn so much money and upfront and a trail and it's just so easy. What they don't know is all the hours of work that goes into getting that formal approval and the settlement happening, because that's all behind the scenes. So,
absolutely. Mm.
yeah, a lot of people come into the industry through no fault of their own, thinking that broking's really easy money, and that it's just about, being able to put a deal up to a lender and get it approved. And it is, but it's so much more than that. So you have to have industry knowledge and technical skills.
If you're enjoying the podcast, then feel free to jump onto podchaser.com, search Your Broker Admin, where you can leave a review, rate the podcast, or just simply follow us so you don't miss an episode.
if you're running your own business, and most brokers are one-man show self-employed businesses, not all, but a lot of them are, you have to have sales and business development skills. You have to have communication, customer service skills, business and time management, networking and referral partnership skills. You've really got to be a jack of all trades. So I think people think that broking is just about doing deals and easy money, and it's just so much more than that.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, in terms of that knowledge base, unfortunately I see anyway, from my perspective, I'm on Finance and Coffee, and you see every day countless scenario questions and that from relatively new brokers seeking advice or guidance from the the members of Finance and Coffee, where and how to place a deal.
Yes, yes. And I think that's for multiple reasons. People, quite often they don't want to hassle their mentor, or their mentor is not available, or the mentor is, a lot of mentors don't actually charge any fees. Therefore, they're busy in their own businesses. So Finance and Coffee is a great resource. But yeah, there are people out there seeking assistance and really requiring hands-on mentorship, and that's what we provide, and what we wanted to provide. So I think a lot of people will do a fancy Excel spreadsheet and work out their numbers, and when they come into the business and think, oh wow, that'll be fantastic, I'll just keep doing my job and do this as a bit of a side hustle and make my millions. It's not really a side hustle, it's a full-time job. You're learning a profession.
So for you personally, what was the actual motivation behind becoming a mentor, and then obviously eventually moving into this role with NLG?
Yeah, it was interesting. I remember when I left school, and my dad said to me, if you're going to leave school, you'll have to get a job straight away. And I thought, right, I'm going to go into a bank, and had many years in banking. Yes, from 17, I just went straight into banking. And then I thought to myself, I had a fire in my belly. I thought, I don't want to be a teller, and there's nothing wrong with being a teller, but I wanted to be in management. So I sort of went through and got into management. And then I was looking for something different because I disagreed with a lot of the majors back then, and it was a number of years ago. Had a big push on, you must ask every client if they want a home loan. Did not agree with that at all. So then I started to think, well, what else could I do? And mortgage broking stood out to me. So I did broker's admin, moved on to self-employed broker. So I did that for a long time, and I've been in banking a long time. So I was looking for a new challenge and for personal growth. I like learning, and I had been there, done that. And I thought, well, I've got all of these years of knowledge. How else could I use that? And I love the idea of helping others, giving back and sharing my knowledge. So I'd assisted somebody else with mentoring, really enjoyed that. I love to know everything. I love to know the answers, and I love to share that knowledge and see other people grow. So that's what drew me to this. And having the opportunity, and NLG being, or Newco being my aggregator, approached me, and I absolutely jumped at the chance. So 3.5 years later, here I am.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, and I know you work with with Kerry, who I've sort of worked with over a number of years with our involvement with Newco. So, so I'm well aware of her, and obviously dealt with you in the past when we were a broker. So,
yes.
I can see how you two would actually make a good team. So.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. And also working alongside Steve Blake, who's an exceptional business development manager, and also Destin Hill, who's come from banking background and come on board as our beauty industry business development manager. So we've got a really strong team, which is fantastic because we all look at things a little bit differently and bounce off each other, and it works really well.
How do they get in contact with you to find out more?
So probably the best way would be to jump onto our website. So our business name is National Lending Group, and our website is www.nlg.com.au. You can reach out to myself, Vanessa Lewis, or Destin Hill, or Steve Lake, or just call the phone number on the website, and we'll be happy to help you.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. And is it the mentoring program? Is it only available to NLG/Newco brokers?
That's correct. Yes. Also, a little remiss of me, I should mention that we have actually partnered with Mr. Mentor. So Mr. Mentor delivers some of our mentoring modules alongside the modules that I present. So you can also jump on and have a look at that.
All right. Okay. Well, that's excellent. So, I think that there's certainly a place for some really good mentors in the broker industry. There's a lot of people in the industry really need to be assisted through that, particularly that first couple of years while they go through that process.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's excellent. Now I've been working with the team at NLG Newco for 7 odd years now, and for anyone's listening, I can attest to the fact that these guys actually know what they're doing. So, if you are a relatively new broker and looking for some guidance, I highly recommend you getting in contact with Vanessa or anyone else at the team at NLG to explore this further.
Oh, thanks, Rob. Really appreciate the opportunity. And also to throw one back at you, Rob his business assisted me in my broking business with broking admin. So definitely can say contact Rob if you want admin.
Yep. No, excellent. Thank you very much. No, like I said, it's been a great relationship with Newco. Enjoyed it. So very much of the philosophy around compliance, mentoring, and sharing information that is very much in line with my personal thoughts. Hence the reason why I was keen to actually get you on and have a chat, because I think that there's definitely a place in the industry for it. So I really appreciate you actually taking some time. I'm sure you enjoy spreading the word, but
Absolutely.
really appreciate that. Enjoy your weekend, and
You too.
thanks very much. In this week's wrap up, we look at outcomes from loan reviews completed for the week ending the 7th of February 2025. Not much to report really this week in terms of outcomes, which is generally the case in the first week of the month. From the small number of reviews completed, we just had the one which resulted in a rate reduction for the client. It was for a Liberty customer where we achieved a rate reduction of 0.1% with a resultant annual interest saving of $280. There were no new referral opportunities uncovered for the week. I'll be back next week with another update. Just a quick reminder that if you'd like to provide a review on the podcast, then you can jump onto podchaser.com, search Your Broker Admin, and leave your review there, which would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you want to follow me personally, you can do so at linkedin.com. This is Rob Cummings with Your Broker Admin. Thank you for listening.